Jefferson School of Mine, School of the Blue and Gold, we're always for her in spirits untold.
Hello and welcome to Jefferson Today. I'm Armanda Clay.
And I'm Chris Holloway. This is our last show of the year. It has been fun learning how and making the shows.
But now we're done for this year and looking forward to next year.
Our first feature takes a look at Jefferson's mock trial team.
Here's reporter Kay Hunter with a look.
There has been a mock trial team for the last 13 years here at Jefferson High School. The advisor on mock trials is social studies teacher Miss Wendy Shelton. She started the team her second year of teaching.
I've been the mock trial coach for about 13 years. When I was a first-year teacher, I couldn't take on the responsibility, but we've had a team here since about 1998-99 school year.
In mock trials, students from different schools have a case that they play the roles of defense and prosecution and try it in an actual courtroom. Along with being on the team, there is a class you can take. This class is Intro to Law.
The class is called Intro to Law, but really it's more of a mock trial class, preparing a case to go compete against other students. And what they do is they do a mini mock in December where they do a practice case. They go down to the Multnomah County Courthouse, and then they participate in the huge Multnomah County region competition where they go and they compete against other schools on a particular case.
Students have different roles as attorneys, prosecution, defense, opening, closing arguments, and cross-examiners. There are also witnesses and bailiffs.
Direct examination is when you question your own witnesses and you try to get long answers out of them to basically have them tell their own story.
Cross-examination is the opposite of direct examination. So you ask questions to the witnesses from the other side and try to point out their wrongs and their dishonesties and their fallacies.
The students get to work with a group of lawyers. It helps them excel in their roles. The season goes from the beginning of the year until February. In the beginning, they are given a practice case which helps them prepare for the big case.
Well, at the beginning, we get a couple little practice cases, and then we get kind of a practice competition where schools come into a trial competition, and we all try to kind of compete against each other. And then comes the real competition later in about February.
The mock trial team members were very supportive of each other. They took a beach trip along with the lawyers to help them focus and have bonding time.
This year was our first year on taking the students on a beach retreat where we kind of did a working beach retreat, and I went and all the students and lawyers. And we had a lot of fun, and they did a lot of work, and so we're hoping to do that and make it an annual event.
On February 26th, they went to the Multnomah County Courthouse to try the case against 3 different schools. Ms. Shelton is already planning for the next year.
Next year, we're trying to figure out how we can kind of bridge law that happens here with law over at PCC. Since we're going to be a middle college program, how can students that have participated in mock trial start to go and look at justice and maybe take a class over at PCC next year?
The mock trial team is a great way for students to prepare for careers in law or just have a fun extracurricular activity. This has been Kay Hunter for Jefferson Today.
You may remember Kay from an anchor of our last show. She did a great job in both roles. For our next story, Ashley Merriweather gives us a look at a demo who went off and became a writer.
That's right. Renee Watson came back to Jeff to talk to the English classes about her life as a demo and beyond.
Renee Watson is an author and alumna of Jefferson High School, class of 1996. Earlier this fall, she came to Jeff's English class taught by Miss Teresa Botman and shared stories she has written and answered questions.
Miss Renee is an alumnus, right, of Jefferson High School, so she graduated from here, and she's now an accomplished writer who lives in New York City and writes books for young adults. I knew that she would have excellent rapport with youth.
Besides being student body president and Rose Festival princess during her time at Jefferson, Renee worked on the school paper, the Jeffersonian, and the literary magazine, Rites of Passage. Linda Christensen was her English teacher and worked with her on Rites of Passage.
She not only was a good student in the classroom, but she came back other periods and helped me work with my classes, even as a student.
When Renee Watson came to visit Jeff, she read selections from 2 books and a play, and she read 2 poems. One of the poems was a type familiar to demos, a Where I'm From poem.
I'm made up of East Coast hip-hop and island tradition. I'm from Baptist hymns and secular jigs, tambourine playing, late night stand at the church house or my friend's house or their friend's house on the weekends.
One of the books, A Place Where Hurricane Happens, is a children's book about the experiences of kids who were affected by Hurricane Katrina.
We're from New Orleans, a place where hurricanes happen, but that's only the bad side. Adrian. Playing outside is my favorite thing to do. I play with my friends Keisha, Michael, and Tommy, who live down the block. Our favorite game is hide and go seek. No one can ever find me.
Her other book, What Mama Left Me, is a young adult novel.
I don't have many good memories of my daddy. He was hardly home, and when he was always mad at my mama or me or my younger brother, Danny. Always yelling about what he wasn't going to do, what wasn't done right, what wasn't done at all.
She also has a play version of that book, Rites of Passage, that she read excerpts from.
Mel, what the hell is wrong with you? Stop cussing at me. Stop tearing up that money. It's not ours. Drug money. The kids' clothes, drug money. The toys, drug money. The food, drug money. Lester and Linda deserve better. Sounds of someone gasping can be heard. A woman is desperately breathing. She's choking. She can't get air.
Renee studied creative writing at the New School in Manhattan and graduated with a certificate in drama therapy. Renee's success as a writer comes as no surprise to Linda Christensen.
She worked very hard at writing. She had decided that she wanted to be a writer, and so she spent a lot of time working on her stories and poetry, even as a student.
A student that was in the class when she came, freshman Hazel West, found it interesting that she went to Jeff.
Yeah, it shows that no matter what school you go to, you can be successful.
Seeing Miss Watson and learning about how successful she is proves that we can be anything we want to be, regardless of the stereotypes they put on us.
I felt that it would be inspiring for students to see someone who came from Portland, from this community, who graduated from Jefferson High School, and to hear her speak about her professional career and her accomplishments. And also, I think her writing is really powerful because she talks about real issues that affect kids today.
It was also nice to see a successful demo come and give back to Jefferson.
It was delightful to have Renee come back and share.
This is Ashley Merriweather reporting for Jefferson Today.
Thanks, Ashley, for that report. Ashley has been hot on a trail of 3 stories, and we'll see another one later on in our show.
We video production students aren't the only ones doing shows here at Jefferson. There are, of course, the dancers, but there are also the students of the drama department. Here's Kenyon Caesar with a look at the Jefferson production earlier this year of Julius Caesar.
Jefferson was one of many schools participating in the Shakespeare Festival. That is why this school year, some of our fellow Jefferson students performed the play Julius Caesar. The play reenacts the end of the rule of Caesar by the conspiracy plotted against him by the Roman Senate that led to his death. I interviewed Shamanique Lohman, who played the title role, a great opportunity but no easy task. Actually becoming the character you are playing is one of the biggest challenges most actors face.
Challenging thing was like memorizing all the parts. When I played Julius Caesar, I wasn't me, I was completely like Caesar.
Before performing in Jefferson's own Robert G. Ford Memorial Theater, they had a chance to hone their skills at the Dolores Wingstad Theater at the Portland Center for Performing Arts in downtown Portland. One of the people in charge of preparing the actors for the debut was Mr. Forsyth, Jefferson's drama teacher. Teaching people Shakespearean language is a difficult task, especially when you have only a few weeks to do it.
I would say the language is the most challenging part. Shakespeare is difficult because it's hard to understand at first. It's tough to translate just for yourself, let alone with young actors, but it's also the most rewarding part of the show, so I think the language is by far the most challenging.
The play had to be cut to fit the required time of the Shakespeare Festival and to fit the amount of people they had to work with.
So we had to make everything an hour long. So we modified the play to fit the time. We also modified it at times to fit the amount of people that we had. The total cast for the entire show, if you were to do the show as it's written, would be about 21 people. We did it with 9.
These actors gave a great performance at Jefferson and the Portland Center for Performing Arts, upholding the tradition of Jefferson's drama department. This is Kenyon Caesar signing off. Jefferson Today.
Good work, Kenyon. I guess one Caesar deserves another. You know, sometimes students need a little extra help beyond what they can get in their classroom, and this year, after-school tutoring provided that help for students. Here's reporter Trisina Ettinger with that report.
After school in room B27 from 3:30 to 4:30, Tuesdays through Thursdays, Jefferson students are able to receive tutoring to get help with missing work, tests, and being able to understand their classwork. The teachers that stay after school to help their students catch up are Mr. Galen, Chemistry and Foundations of Physics and Chemistry, Miss Turner, Anatomy and Physiology, also FPC, Miss Bernard, Spanish, Mr. Bazorka, Geometry and Algebra, Mr. Batliner, Algebra and Precalculus, and Mr. Ballman, Algebra. There are other teachers who occasionally drop in, like digital media teacher Mr. Edwards, also social studies teacher Miss Bulow. Miss Turner is one of the teachers that participates in after-school tutoring. Some students prefer getting one-on-one tutoring and some don't mind the whole class. What does Miss Turner prefer?
Well, it's not necessarily better to go to tutoring than to just do your work in class the first time. But if a student needs extra help or again misses class, then tutoring can be a good way to make that up.
Terrell attends after-school tutoring and he prefers tutoring instead of class.
Well, when you're in class, the teachers are sketchy. And when he tries to teach the lesson, he has to hurry up and get through it and he has no time to wait. But when you're with him one-on-one, nobody's by him, he can teach you that lesson.
Tutoring helps raise your grade, and depending on the teacher, it gives you a chance to get extra credit. Deja will further explain the concept.
It helped raise my grade because teachers actually work with me and stay here after school and go through the steps with me. They give me extra credit for staying as well when you sign in, and they know the people that went, and they're just really helpful people.
A range of 3 to 20 students come to tutoring to expand their skills and assist them in learning. Having after-school tutoring gives the student body many more opportunities for raising grades, catching up, and becoming better at the subject. It is a great thing to be a part of, and all students could take advantage of this opportunity. This has been Trisina Ettinger reporting for Jefferson Today.
Trisina did a nice job on that story. And she did a nice job as one of the anchors of the last show. You go, girl.
Jefferson's track team didn't have the best weather this year. And to be honest, they didn't have the best season either. Athletes went out and did their best. Here's reporter Ray Burney with the report.
The Jefferson track team is led by Larry Warren, the running coach, and E. Bradley Muhammad, the field coach. Jefferson competes in a 5A league with Benson, Cleveland, Franklin, Madison, and Wilson. At the end of the season, Jefferson's track team was 0-5. Jefferson began every practice with warm-ups and stretches so they could perform at their best.
Like stretch out the calves, then like stretch out the knees and everything. So pretty much hamstring stretches, arm stretches. That's about it.
On May 11th, the Jefferson track team headed to the district meet to compete for a state shot. Jefferson turned it around in districts with 6 people heading to the state championships on May 20th through 21st at University of Oregon in Eugene. Richard Ramsey, Antonio Greeley, Cassine McClendon, and Anthony Warren in the 4x4, and also Dominic Williams as an alternate. I talked to Richard about his favorite event before they left for state.
I'm looking for the 100, because a dude named Tyson, they say he posted fast as sophomore. I want to prove that I possibly can be as fast as sophomore.
Richard also competed in the 100, 200, and 400. Although Richard ran hard, he came home disappointed about the results.
I think I did pretty well for my first time, ever doing track.
Anthony Warren was tested in the 110 and 300 meter hurdles. Tiara Miles was the only demo girl and ran the 100, 200, and the 400. She did not place in any event but hopes to improve next year to run again and take first. The track team came back from state with one medal winner to be proud of, Anthony Warren.
Anthony. He stood out. He took second in hurdles in both divisions.
This has been a building year for Jeff. The last time state was won by the boys was in 1977 and by the girls in 1984. But hopefully in the upcoming years, Jefferson can be on top and once again be the school of track and field champions. This has been Ray Burney reporting for Jefferson Today.
Thanks, Ray, and look for Ray on the football field for the demos this year. Our next story is by my co-anchor, Chris Holloway, who decided to take a look at SEI here at Jeff. Take it away, Chris.
In fall 2010, students that enter Jefferson High School as freshmen were automatically enrolled into Self-Enhancement, Inc., or SEI. Since SEI has partnership with Jefferson students are able to experience many opportunities, such as tutoring, homework support, after-school programming, and help from the school coordinator that SEI offers. Miss Sarah Lawrence has been with SEI for a long time.
Since I was 9 years old in the 4th grade, and I just recently started working for them full-time.
For all SEI students at Jeff, there is a coordinator they are assigned to. They are assigned to one of the 3 coordinators, Sarah Lawrence, Jimmy Thompson, or Anand Trailstad. Each coordinator has about 30 students, and those students are called their caseload. The coordinators are chosen to help the students succeed, whether it has to do with their personal situations, maintaining good grades, or getting help with homework and schoolwork. Anand Trailstad has dealt with a wide variety of situations with his caseload.
Man, really all sorts of different situations, whether it's in school, helping the kids get right with their academics. A lot of times it's behavior stuff, so we try and show them how to deal with certain situations the right way if maybe they're not doing that. We also like to reward the students that work with us for exhibiting the behaviors that we like to see.
The SEI coordinators act as mentors to students. They work to build strong relationships with each demo on their caseload.
In different ways, I try to find some things that we have in common and just build relationships from there.
Coordinators are also in charge of keeping points. The points are earned when students attend after-school programming and check with their coordinators every day.
Each coordinator has a different point system. My point system is different from all the other coordinators. I base my points largely on participation and behavior. So if you are participating in SEI events, if you come to after-school programming, if you come see me in the office, then you'll get most of your points.
At the end of the year, the 7 students with the most points go on the end-of-the-year trip. Freshman Deja Roberts enjoyed the end-of-the-year trip a lot.
The end-of-the-year trip was good. We did a lot of fun stuff. They gave us money, and we brought money of our own.
Coordinators also have a Student of the Month and a Most Improved.
For Student of the Month, usually kids that are on task, taking care of their schoolwork, attending after-school programming, getting kudos from different teachers when I talk to their teachers and different things.
Coordinators are responsible to make sure each student is doing what they are supposed to. If the students have failing grades, the coordinator is responsible to make the students go to tutoring and or night school.
So it's different with each kid. Some kids, we kind of look at it from a mentor, teacher, parent perspective. Some students you are just going to be, help them as a mentor.
The SEI coordinators are a great influence on their students' lives. They make sure the students have the best experience while in SEI and are rewarded for doing well and succeeding in life. Students not always have a place they can go to do homework, after-school activities, and they also have someone they can go for help. This has been Chris Holloway reporting for Jefferson Today.
Nice job, Chris.
Thank you, Armanda. I was working hard and got 2 stories done, but Ashley Merriweather takes the prize for getting 3. This one takes a look at our principal, Miss Tony Hunter.
Miss Tony Hunter was Jefferson's principal this year. She is also Deputy Superintendent of Portland Public Schools. In the spring of 2010, when the principal of Jefferson, Cynthia Harris, was no longer able to continue, Miss Hunter stepped in and took over. She still retained her Deputy Superintendent duties, supervising schools in the Lincoln, Jefferson, and Franklin clusters. Miss Hunter has more than 30 years of experience working in education. She began her career as a teacher at Vernon and Woodlawn, teaching elementary, business education, and 8th grade, before moving on to high school.
The high school principal for 11 years before leaving that job and going to central office as an assistant superintendent and then a deputy superintendent. And before then, I was a teacher, a counselor, a vice principal. So I worked in the school system in Portland since 1973.
Ms. Hunter was principal at Grant from 1997 to 2007. After so much experience in schools, Ms. Hunter has been here for her last principalship.
It brings me back in a building around students, and students are the reason we all exist in public education. I can walk down the halls and talk to just an array of students on any given day and learn what's happening with them.
Ms. Hunter says Jefferson is different than other high schools she has worked at, but reminds her of where she went to school.
So one of the differences that you notice right away is all of my previous schools have been larger than Jefferson, and all of my previous schools have been schools that were not going through deep change. My high school days were a very long time ago. What reminds me of my high school time as compared to Jefferson is I also attended a small high school. I attended a high school that was actually kindergarten through 12th grade. It doesn't exist today, but we were separated by buildings.
Mr. Richard Petterford is one of Jefferson's security guards and says that having Ms. Hunter as a principal has been good for the school.
Structure, a lot of structure. Sometimes in the past we've had administrators who really wasn't sure about the direction they wanted to go in and what was going to be the outcome. But this year I think that we're leaving with a pretty clear idea of the direction that we're going and how she has led us in that direction.
Nakisha Gardner is a freshman at Jeff and enjoyed her experience having Ms. Hunter as principal.
I think that she's a nice person, and honestly, I think I can trust her, to go and talk to her. So, yeah, she's a good person.
Next school year, Ms. Hunter will be returning to her job as deputy superintendent, but she is leaving us in the hands of somebody that will also be good for the school, Ms. Calvert.
Well, I was worried about that because it's hard to replace that type of experience. But with Ms. Calvert coming in, it's not so much a worry anymore. I think she's leaving the school in the hands of somebody I think really, one, loves the school, and two, understands the school, and three, really understands the students here, and four, I think she really understands the community.
Ms. Hunter has made Jeff happy, and Jeff has made her happy too. This is Ashley Merriweather reporting for Jefferson Today.
Good work, Ashley, and thank you, Ms. Hunter, for all you've done for Jeff.
We'll miss seeing your smiling face in the halls and hearing encouragement you always give.
To go out, we're going to give you a look at parts from the dance recital.
The dance recitals at Jefferson are a chance for all the dance students, no matter what class they're into, perform on the big stage with the lights, costumes, and the appreciative audience.
So with no further delay, let's see what's happening in Jefferson's Robert G. Ford Memorial Theater on the evening of Thursday, June 9th.
that window in your room. I wish I had you in my arms. I would never let you go. No, 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 no.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you.
I've been for a while now, and I've been kind of lonely. I'm looking for somebody to talk to, love me, someone who can help me. Is that you? I'm looking for somebody I can call.
Someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Gente que no subieron el Ivo, el novio tuyo está comprando ritmo. No se pique, Drácula guay, el de los tickets. Tú eres mi girly girl, baby, así que te quiero en un frasco. Pídeme que yo te complazco. Dicen que estoy loco del casco, loco crazy. Exploto las tarjetas en Macy, tengo la Thompson como...
Some go to search for love. Lovers even go to work for love. Sad songs are songs for love. People never know who's a spot for love. Some say we make it for love.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
And we hope you enjoyed all the shows we did this year. This has been Armanda Clay.
And this has been Chris Holloway. Keep on the lookout for next year's Jefferson Today.
Jefferson Day. When it come to news, you know we don't play. Keep it hotter than the desert on a hot summer day. Home of the demos, pride and champions. Who up and down with the body champion. You want updates on sports? We got it from grassy fields to indoor courts. This was popping. We got words on the streets and in the office. Other schools' news don't want none get off us. JEFFERSONTODAY. Tell a friend. JEFFERSONTODAY. Ready? Let's begin.